You too. Good morning. What's happening? What's happening? Sunday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Time for me to go get me a 5 mile run in. I'm gonna do 5 miles a day. Getting ready for Denver, Colorado, May the 19th. That's the actual date that the run is on, May the 19th. So usually I get to the places a couple of days before and leave the day after the race. That's usually what I do. So the race is on the 19th of May. I probably get about the 16th, stay a few days, visit the city. Y'all know how I do. See what's going on. Um, do try to do attempt to do some adventurous things. So right now I'm training for that, and I want to talk to y'all a little bit about a conversation me and my son had yesterday. It's kind of like off of running, but it it ties in. It could tie in to a healthy lifestyle. It could tie in a healthy lifestyle. So I just want to talk to you about it. It's about habits. It's basically about habits and addictions and stuff like that. I have a 15-year-old son. If you don't know, he has been on a couple of my videos, but he in the process of learning how to drive. I'm teaching him how to drive, and lately, the times he comes over here, we just working on driving certain little things, and he's getting it. He's getting it pretty good. He's doing pretty good, but we was just talking, and and every now and then you have to have conversation. I'm talking to somebody who have kids, and I'm pretty sure you already know this, but if you don't, every now and then you have to have tough conversations with them, with them, and see what's in their head, and see what's going on in their minds, and in this world, you just have from a parent's perspective, you have a whole world that's against you as far as that go. It used to be when I was coming up. When I was coming up, it used to be. It was an old saying: "It takes a village to raise a child." That saying is it's still valid, but it's just too much. From what I see, is too many. Is more negative things going on than back when I was coming up. Let me explain. Like, where I mainly most of my childhood life, I spent a lot of times to my grandparents' house, and in that neighborhood, everybody knew everybody. You could go outside, and the parents will see what you doing, see what you saying, and stuff like that. And they will check you, they will chastise you. Then they'll go tell your parents. They'll go tell, well, in my case, my grandparents, and tell them what they heard you say and all that, and then they'll get on you. And it was a community of that. Seemed like, for whatever reason, well, I ain't gonna say for whatever reason, but it seemed like that has fallen off. That has fallen off, and now it's like, you know, a parent will say, see a child do something, it won't even say nothing to the other parent. It won't even say nothing to the child because they don't, they, I guess, inferior these kids or whatever. I don't know, but anyway, off that. What the conversation was about was I asked him, did he ever I always talk to him about drugs and alcohol and weed and stuff like that. I asked him, has he ever tried it? He told me, yeah. And I was like, well, what was his thought about it? And he was like, "It's what he told me now. It's what he told me." He said, well, he didn't get it. He didn't enjoy it. He don't understand it. And I mean, I try to talk to them as much as I can about being honest with me, and don't lie to me, and keep it a buck with me. Because what I mean by keeping a buck, just be honest with me and tell me what's going on. Because if you start lying to me, and then when it comes to something that really, and and I need to help get you out of something, if you gonna lie to me, I can't defend you. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you have a bad reputation of lying, then it's not nothing to do with you. I can't help you out at all. And I try to open up that honesty and that safety zone with my kids. I try to as much as I can open up that safety zone with them kids to let them talk to me and tell me, okay, well, what's going on, and then I could give them my spiel on it. When you get a certain age, when a kid get a certain age, they're gonna do what the hell they want to do anyway. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. You can yell at them, you can beat them, you can do whatever you want to do. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. But you could talk to them and navigate. Say, look, man, this is what's gonna happen if you do this, and this is what I would do if I was in this situation. That's basically all you could do, and live on it and let them see you living that truth. That's the only thing you could do when they get a certain age. Now, when they're young, they 3 and 4 years old, you could pop them. I mean, but it's different when they get in their teens because they're struck by so much peer pressure, and they struck by so much is out there right now. You got the internet, you got all kind of things out there, but what's on your side as an adult, as a parent, as an adult, you've been through all that stuff that they're going through, and you could tell them, look, I done been your age, you never been mine. Just listen to me. This is what'll happen if you do this. This is what'll happen if you don't do this. That's the only thing you could do with that. But let's go back to he was telling me, he didn't get the thrill out of it. He didn't enjoy it. And I said, "Will you ever smoke again?" He said, "No." That's what he told me now. I mean, and I said, "Okay, well," and I resonate with that because back when I was younger, when I was his age, and we all been there before, I tried it, and my first, I did it a few times. I did it a few times, but I always had jobs that did random piss tests. So the fact that I had a job that did random tests, I always had a job. Even the no, not the first job I had, but the second job I had was at a hospital, and they did random drug tests, and it was like I never. I mean, if I smoke, I know I'm gonna lose my job, and that's what I banked on that. Like I don't want to lose my job, and I had this. My parents had this certain level of fear. Like the crazy. Another thing, man. I'll touch on this in a minute, but I got to say this. Another thing, man. Like these kids, in a lot of cases, and a lot of these kids, the things they do, they don't feel embarrassed about it. If I always had this fear that if I get caught, if I lose my job because I had dirty urine, I'll be too embarrassed to tell my parents that that's what happened to me. These kids, they just don't even care nothing about that. I mean, from the way they display things, they just ain't embarrassed about nothing. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Like I was telling him that it was nasty to me because okay, you with your homeboy or whatever. He rolling the blunt, he licking, he got his mouth all on the shit, and then he put the weed in it and he licking it to get it to stick and all that. And you want me to put my mouth on that after you did that? Now, don't get me wrong, I did it, but subconsciously in my mind, I'm like, this is nasty. What the hell am I doing? I did that once, and then I tried. I couldn't even get past that. I said I couldn't even get past that shit. Like that's nasty. But I still did it. Don't I mean I still did it. And then even after that, I just didn't get it. Like I did, I felt the buzz of the high, or whatever. But I'm the type of person, me personally, I'm the type of person I want to be in control, and in my life, I want to be in control. And then once you high, you're not functional. You're not in control, and I don't want nothing to control me. That's why when I notice that something is getting too in control of my life, I change it. Like I give you an example, like I noticed that I was drinking, I was drinking too many of those LaCroix drinks. It was just drinks. If you've been following me, I was drinking a lot of LaCroix drinks. I was drinking them like it was nobody business. I started having pains in my lower back, like around my kidney area. I started noticing that, but they were just so I just kept drinking it. I just noticing, I just kept drinking them, and I kept wanting them, and I noticed that that was kind of controlling me, and I had to stop. And I was telling him, I said, man, habits, the best way to get over a habit is to not start it in the first place. And I was telling him, I said, man, you gotta, if you see people doing it, that don't necessarily mean you have to do it. And I know there's a lot of peer pressure out there, and it's not good. You don't have to do that shit because other people doing it. Now, according to what he told me, and like I'm telling you before, I'm not finna say my child is perfect, and I'm not, this is not what I'm saying. But I, with that particular advice, I don't think, according to what he told me, I don't have to worry about that particular vice because he said he it didn't even stick with him. He just don't even he don't even like it. He didn't like the feeling or none of that. So that's pretty good. But if somebody who tried it and liked that feeling, I said so much that comes with it. It's so much comes with it. It's so much of an expensive habit. You it's an expensive habit. You wind up doing things you ain't got no business doing to get to that habit. I notice a lot of people. And then once you get so used to the high of that, I've noticed in my years of living, I noticed people, quote unquote graduate, want to get something higher. Then they wind up doing crack. Then they wind up, getting on other bad vices. And I was telling him that, that's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to do because it mess up other areas in your life if you want to be productive and successful. So that was basically the conversation. And I was telling him a habit, you gonna have some kind of habit. I don't care what it is. You're gonna have some kind of habit. Even if some people like food, some people are addicted to food. Some people are addicted to food. Some people are addicted to sugar. Some people, you just have all kind. It's all kind of habits you can have. The best habit, in my opinion, I tried drugs. I done tried weed, but it wasn't a habit. I done did drinking. Drinking is a bad habit. It's a habit, and you could get caught up in the right concoctions of alcohol. And I will still drink to this day. The right concoctions of alcohol taste good to me. It really tastes good to me, but they just so depending on the person, they're so hard to get rid of those habits. I say the best habit. I tell him the best habit is working out and trying to keep your body and keeping your body healthy. Yeah, and keeping a healthy body and a healthy mind. That's the best habit you can have. I said it's a lot cheaper. It can be free. And then he rebutted was like, no, you got to pay a gym membership. Well, he probably he right. You do have to pay a gym membership. Then I went back at him. I said, no, you don't have to be a gym member. You could do calisthenics. You could work out at the house. You could do some jumping jacks in the house. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. So. But that's why it could tie. You could form positive habits. Is what I'm trying to tell you. You can form positive habits. Workout, man. It's a good feeling when especially if you overweight or oversized or whatever, and you go to working out and you notice in a couple of months that your body changing. You go to getting out the shower, when you looking at your body, you see different. You see veins and you see shit, and you be like, God, dog, boy, and you want more of it. You get a craving to you crave wanting your body to change. Now, is it gonna hurt at first? Oh yeah, it hurts. It hurts. I mean, when you first start working out, oh, it hurts. I'm not finna sit here and lie, but you know what else hurts? Hangovers, a hangover. I done had many of them. That hurts. That getting up in the morning and not feeling like, not feeling like getting up and going to work, or just you ain't functional because you done had too much to drink the day before. That hurts too. So I told him all that, and I just want to share with you guys that, you know, bad habits are hard to break. Habits, period, are hard to break. So habits are hard to break. So why not form good habits? Why not form good habits? And just had that conversation with him, and and always try to, if you have kids, you try as a parent, try to be that that person that they can come to about anything. Um, I have an older son. I have an older son, and my kids are six years apart. I think 5 or 6 years apart. 5 or 6 years apart, and there were some things that I've done differently with this one that I did with the older one. The older one, I didn't know no better, but this one here, like I give you that, like from my point of view, my oldest son, he's not to the point that he's getting there. He's getting there, but at first he wasn't real comfortable with coming to me to talk to me about certain things. It's certain things, and I'm pretty sure that my oldest son, my youngest son is like that. He's not finna just walk up to me and volunteer no information. None of them gonna do that. They're not gonna walk up to me and volunteer any information. But I think this youngest one understands that I got that door to go talk to my daddy, as opposed to when my oldest son was 15 years old that he had. He he just he didn't understand that you come talk to me about anything. My 15-year-old understands that because I've let him I gave him that I gave him that trust. Like he trusts me to be like, okay, I can come to my daddy about anything I want to, talk to him about. The oldest one, and it was my fault that, you know, I did that to where he didn't, look, I better not talk to him about this because he's gonna judge me. That was his thoughts of, and it was because I made him feel that way. I made him feel that way. But this one here, I kind of like, you know, okay, look, what's going on, and he would tell me certain things. He would talk to me. I ain't gonna say he talked to me about everything. I ain't talked to my mom about everything. I ain't talked to my granddaddy about everything. I didn't talk to them about everything. I mean, I will now. I mean, but there was a point in my life I wouldn't talk to them about every single thing. But I kept things honest with him. And if I'm backed in the corner, I'm not gonna lie to him. I'm be like, look, yeah, this is what happened. I might not, I might leave a couple. I might, I don't know. I mean, I have, left one or two things out, but but I like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't leave that, but I still would keep things honest with them and talk to them about it. So, um, and I think that's very important. That's very important. And then you have to, say, look, okay, this is what I do if I was you. This is what I won't do if I wasn't you. Now, will they do it? I don't know. I mean, if you set, especially as parent, daddies, if you living in your truth and you walking in that truth, at some point, I really believe that. As a matter of fact, I know. So if you set in the best, if you set an example, you live in the truth and say, look, this is what, and they know that, okay, this is what my daddy will do, they'll follow your lead. That, I mean, they might not do it at that particular moment, but at some point, they'll go back and be like, okay, my daddy said he'll do this and he'll do that. They'll go back and follow, especially if you're a daddy. Mamas too. I mean, mamas too, but especially if you're a daddy. If you have a child, a son or a daughter, say, look, baby, this is what I would do if I were you. I would do and say it positively and don't be yelling and cussing and fussing at them because I learned and I was that parent like yelling at them and hollering and acting. Man, them kids don't pay that shit no. They don't pay that no attention. They don't care nothing. They ain't studying that. You go to hollering and they and boasting and all. They do not care about that. Trust me. I know. I know. It does not work. It does not work. It worked for us when we was my granddaddy go to hollering and yelling, man, we like, oh boy, I made my granddaddy mad. Like, oh no, I can't do that no more. But and then you temporarily won't do it no more. You might go back after you don't forgot he hollered at you, but for the most part, you think twice about doing things. But them, you can't do you go to hollering at them if you want to. They be looking at you like this nigga crazy. And it don't work. I reason I brought that up because I was listening. I was listening to this guy Charleston White. I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he's on YouTube and he was telling me he was talking about how he cussed the kids out and yell at them. And I used to do that. That don't be working. He used to cuss the child, and he was telling me how and he still do it. He said, man, you can't talk to them kids like they nice and all that. I don't necessarily agree with them. Maybe the kids he talked to, I don't know, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you have a one on just like Charleston White couldn't talk to me like that. Like like man, what the fuck? Hey, you talking to like like you're not finna talk to me like that. Who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have that same attitude with them. You know what I'm saying? Now that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, and I have two boys, and I tried it Charleston White way, and now I'm trying it another way, and it seems like this one with this younger one seems like it. I mean, seems like it's working. He's not disrespecting. Yes, sir. No, sir. And he listen. It sounds like he listened to what I'm saying, and I'm watching how he's moving and how he's navigating. I have been in places and watched how he conduct himself around other kids, and I've watched him, and he didn't even see me there. I've been to places, and to this day, he don't even know. He don't. My youngest son now. And my oldest one, I have been places they don't even to this day don't even know I've been there. I seen how they conduct themselves, and I seen how one act, I seen how the other one act, and they're yelling and hollering and acting like a damn fool. Well, that one does not work. It didn't work with him, but I tried another approach with this one, and it's like, okay, he's getting it, and he in this one here kind of this one, the youngest one, from at this moment, at this particular conversation, he shows that okay, look, I respect my parents. I respect what they trying to do. You know what I'm saying, and I understand, that I gotta act a certain way because this is how I really supposed to behave. That's just what I've seen, and then what this conversation was basically about is that you know habits are hard to break, and it's best to form good habits. The best thing to do is form good habits. But that's enough rambling. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that and explain. And tell you that May May the 19th, I'll be in Denver. We're from like I said, I leave on the 16th. Probably leave on the 16th, just to get a couple of days in. Check the city out, go pick up my beer package, and collaborate with people if I want to. And if anybody's in the Denver, Colorado area, I'll be there on the 16th through the 19th. You can comment below. We can link up. I make sure I go to the gym, get me a workout in. I make sure I do a little shakeout run before the actual run. I heard Denver is very hilly, so I got time to, do some hill repeats. Work on my hill repeats and stuff like that, and just get with it, baby. I'm gonna finish this coffee. It done got cold now. Got me. I'm gonna pour me another cup. Make this one. I'm not gonna finish this one, and get me another cup of coffee. Just fill up just to that level. drink me some more coffee, go get me 5 miles in, and enjoy my Sunday. I got meal prepping. I'm still doing my I'm still doing my seafood diet. No sugars and no carbs. I'm still on that, and that's going pretty good. That's going pretty good. And I'm gonna do the rest of this month. I probably gonna do the month of May the same with 90 days. I'm probably gonna wind up just doing 90 days of this and see what the because I'm starting to notice progress. I mean, like differences. And it's mainly the difference of eating no sugars. I'm starting to see, a big difference. And not eating no sugar. I was telling my son that I noticed that when you eat sugars like sweets, cookies, candy, stuff like that, you get a you still be you get hungry, you still be hungry and you still be thirsty. I don't have that hungry feeling anymore. Like after I mean I eat at certain times and after I eat, that's it. And my craving for sugar, I'm not gonna say it's gone, but it's not as much. Them first couple of weeks was kind of rough. Like I'm wanting stuff that I don't usually eat. That was crazy. Like as far as in the sweets area, like I've been wanting muffins and all kind of like where that come from? And I'm not finna tell you I sit down and just eat muffins. I don't do that. But anyway, let me get out of here. Let me go get these 5 miles in and enjoy my Saturday. And like I say, meal prepping today and get myself together for the week so I can have a smooth week. I done had countless videos about that. It's always good to get your clothes together, iron them, clean your clothes. It's Sunday. Clean your clothes up and iron them, and have them ready for the week so that way your week can flow smooth. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'm a.k.a. Scooby, and I'm out. Y'all be easy.